Hello everybody, welcome to the first episode of SWB Gaming. Let's play Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. I'm going to go through and knock out Sora's story here on Proud Mode. Just because I played through already, I got the trophies for beating it on Beginner and Normal Mode. So we'll just go through and knock out the Proud Mode here. Unlike the first Kingdom Hearts game, there's not a lot of optional stuff to do here. There are still a fair amount of cutscenes, but this is definitely a much shorter game than Kingdom Hearts. We should be able to go through everything and take care of one floor at a time. There are some optional things, but it's not like it's anything with fighting. It's always a guarantee as long as you meet the requirements, which is... we'll get to it. Because if I try to explain it right now, if you're only familiar with Kingdom Hearts, the gameplay is definitely different, so you wouldn't quite know what I'm referring to when I talk about the battle system here. It's significantly different than the battle system from Kingdom Hearts. What's a bit surprising is, with the amount of introductory cutscenes and whatnot, the first video might actually be the longest video, rather than the last video being the longest. Square Enix always likes making their final boss fights extremely long, because there's multiple phases. This one there is multiple phases as well with the final boss, but it's not something where it's like a 6-phase fight. It's really only a 3-phase fight, and you're able to save after the first phase. But I think this is the best way that they can kind of wrap up what had happened in the first Kingdom Hearts game. Just give you a few quick clips of everything. And then this right here was the ending of Kingdom Hearts. So they give you that quick little intro. And again, this is also part of the ending of Kingdom Hearts. So just directly takes off, and Pluto was just hovering. I've never noticed that before.
Along the road ahead lies something you need. However, in order to claim it, you must lose something that is dear to you.
I'm actually not sure where Sora is supposed to be. I really have no idea. Okay, we get it. It's Re-Chain of Memories. Yes, yes. If you've ever played through the Game Boy Advance version of Chain of Memories, the story's still the same, but they updated the graphics and they changed the gameplay a little bit. You still have the same battle system, but the fights are no longer... I don't know if that's considered a 2.5D fight. This is all three-dimensional. And much like the first Kingdom Hearts game, they give you a pretty big tutorial here in terms of how everything works. We'll just work through it pretty quickly.
Hey, you think it's okay to barge in?
But we gotta do it if we're gonna find the king.
The king? King Mickey's here?
Something just told me he'd be here, okay?
Really? 'Cause now that you mention it, I was kinda thinking the same thing.
Seriously? Me too. One look at this castle, and I just knew. Our very best friends. They're here.
Yup, guess great minds think alike.
Wait, hey, hold on. It can't be just a coincidence.
Oh no, Timothy. You don't mean that.
Yep, I had it too. I had the exact same feeling.
Gorge, maybe it's contagious.
No, something's screwy. We gotta go take a look.
All right,
What? Where are you going?
that way, to the door. Are you scared?
Ah, don't be ridiculous. Come on, let's go, Goofy.
Hey, fellers, shouldn't we shut the door behind us before we go? Sora!
That's it. Who are you?
I can't remember who that's supposed to be. Could be Xemnas, could be Ansem, could be the final boss for this game, which I don't want to spoil it yet. But now they're kind of letting you know that attacking the way they did in Kingdom Hearts won't work the same. So here it's a very big introduction in terms of the battle mechanics for everything.
I should think it's obvious. The moment you set foot in this castle, you forgot every spell and every ability you ever knew. In this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. That is the way in Castle Oblivion.
Castle Oblivion?
So if you ever wonder why in sequels characters seem to just lose all the abilities that they'd gained in the previous game, it's because they always go to Castle Oblivion.
And you will meet
They forget
people you
everything.
miss.
I miss? Riku! You mean Riku's here?
If what you want is to find him,
Okay, that's Petals, so that has to be the final boss for this game.
Huh? What'd you do?
I merely sampled your memories, and from them, I made this. To reunite with those you hold dear.
So thankfully, we don't have any gummy missions to go through to travel from
What's
one
this?
world to the next.
Card?
We use these cards that were
It is
given
a
throughout the
promise for
game
reunion you seek.
to unlock the worlds.
Hold the card to open the door.
We'll
and
just go
beyond
in
it,
the
a new
order
world.
that they're given to us. You can change things a little bit, but
Proceed, Sora.
there's really no need to.
To lose and claim anew, or to claim anew only to lose.
Come on. Let's go.
Alright. Should finally have control, Sora. Almost. Alright, so Traverse Town. We don't really have a choice yet. That's the only place we can go to. Now there's a lot here that like you have to do fights with enemies because they drop different cards that you need to progress through the game. And there's a lot of RNG with this game, so I can only imagine if you were trying to speedrun it, just how pissed off you'd get. There's no consistency here. You could do the exact same thing for this first room over and over and over again and get a different result every single time. Alright, so little tutorial here for us on how to use the cards. And how our friends are actually used in this game. So it's always just you. But you can pick up your friend cards and use them to do different attacks. And you learn what are called slights along the way, which are like your abilities and your combos. Right now we don't really have anything, but along the game when you level, we'll be able to improve our slights, and when we do certain things, like boss fights and certain rooms, we'll gain our slights as well, so. At least here we're able to dodge roll, which we couldn't do until a certain point at the first Kingdom Hearts game. When you know what you're doing, this tutorial is very long and boring. All right. Hit select. There we go. Although I will be collecting enemy cards from every enemy throughout the game, I very rarely use them unless there's a certain boss fight that it's pretty difficult to beat without certain extras. And there's only a handful where it really does make a difference. Sora can't do anything without our help. Good. Good, Donald. Good. Alright, so as you go through each floor, you saw we had the key to beginnings. There are different keys, and you have to use them in a certain order to progress the story. And for this first floor, we will need to get into a series of fights because we need cards to progress from room to room. There we go. If you're playing through on your own, you'll definitely want to hit any of these objects that you can interact with, because they can drop health orbs, they can drop Moogle points, which is your money for this game. They can drop cards as well. And cards are extremely useful because you'll be adjusting your deck to make it better. Like if you had this deck, there's no way you could beat the final boss. Or if you could, you're just a heck of a lot better than I am. Now the way experience works in this game, you can see these blue diamonds being dropped. The diamonds are your experience. So if you don't pick them up, you don't get the experience for the kill. Unlike Kingdom Hearts, where leveling increases your strength and your defense, leveling here, you actually have a choice between how you use the points. You can use them for HP, you can use them for CP, which is your card points, which means you can equip more cards. Or you can increase your sleights, which anytime I have the ability to increase my sleights, I will do that. Now here you can see interacting with these objects cause them to drop certain items. Nothing fantastic, but that's what it gives us. So defeating that enemy, it dropped this red enemy card, which it actually I don't think will let me use. Right. It's forcing me to use this one card right now, which is fine. Again, the first floor is really just tutorial for us. Good. I'm not going to save because I have no reason to save right now. We just want to get through this floor completely, and then we'll save at the end of the floor. So in this room, Heartless will appear. Notice I'm attacking them beforehand. If you attack them, they'll be stunned when you start the battle. And they'll have a little bit of health knocked off. I do that just because it makes the fights a little easier, it makes them a little faster. Anything to progress this quickly, but this really is a fast game. Let's see what Donald can do for us. Okay. Nothing right now. Oh, come on. Hit the wrong button. There we go. So defeating that group of enemies gives us a new card. That's why you need fights, because you need cards to progress from room to room. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to leave this room unless I got into a fight. So there I just leveled and had the ability to unlock a new slight, which again, every time I can unlock a new slight, I will. Other times I'll try to balance my HP with my CP. And I will be getting to max level here, so I'll have max HP and max CP at the end of the game. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. Like, you almost have to try to die on this first floor. But I bet it is possible. Okay. Any other fights for us? Yes. So on future floors and future videos, we won't be going through all the fights because I'll have enough cards that I don't need to get into a lot of fights. But here, again, it's a lot of tutorial and you need the cards to progress from room to room. Once you spend a little bit of time, whether it's trying to gain a bit of experience to make the game a bit easier, or what have you, you'll get enough cards that you can progress through a floor without having to get into very many fights. Now, this is a... that was a slight for us. Very difficult to control. I don't think it's actually that powerful, but I just wanted to show it off for you. Not here, okay. Now the top right corner, not in the fights, but when we're back in the rooms, there's a little map for that specific room, which lets you know... Oh, come on. Which directions there's doors. If you look, you can see there's the yellow arrow, which lets us know that this is a special door that we want to try to progress through. And this will actually progress our story. If we have any ones, I'll use that. I don't. Again, it doesn't really matter right now. I'll be getting into enough fights, getting enough card drops that later on we'll be able to go through without having to really make much of a decision. Yeah, it's interesting. They kind of replay the stories that you did in Kingdom Hearts with slight twists. But the problem is they're all kind of losing their memories. If you remember from the first Kingdom Hearts, you have a fight with Leon, or Squall, whatever you want to call him. Like, technically it's Squall, but in Kingdom Hearts he goes by Leon. See? He did know Sora's name. It's so weird. Again, lots of cutscenes. Some of these videos can take quite a long time because of all the cutscenes. Unfortunately, they didn't go through and dub over this. So if you're playing yourself, you just have to read everything. And reading's tough. I think we get another tutorial fight here. I've already been using sleights, which in the battles, if you notice, I stack up 3 cards. They're going to teach, Leon's going to teach me how to do that. But I already know it, so I'm just going to go through as fast as I can. He explains how the numbers on the cards work. It makes sense, the higher the value, the more powerful a card. 0 is a special card. It's stronger than anything if it's played second. If it's played first, it gets broken by anything. When you stock your cards, that's what allows you to do your different sleights based on the total value of the stock. And depending on the types of cards as well. You gotta be careful when you stock your cards though, because every time you make a stock and you use it, you lose the first card for that battle, unless you have a special card that will make it reappear. Now he says relying only on sleights is a bad thing. Technically he's right, but if you can stack your deck the right way, you can get through a battle pretty quickly without having to worry about discarding. And that's going to be the key for a lot of fights. I'm going to try to set my deck ahead of time so I can just blast through the fight quickly. I don't have the sleights yet that allow me to do that, but once I get those sleights, it'll be really fast to get through. You weren't there last time. Oh. That's what you gotta be careful though, with certain sleights. The problem is, it'll be a ground attack, and you can't attack the thing that's in the air, or it'll be something different where it actually heals the enemy because of the special type of attack it is. And I'm not paying attention to my card values. Oh, come on, you stupid piece of garbage. Alright. Let's go here. I don't want to waste one of the black mushroom cards yet. Because it's really what it is just a waste right now. When you're trying to gain experience as quick as possible, you want one of the rooms that has a lot of enemies, which is, you know, these rooms. Now, yes, it is low experience per fight, but since I'm at a low level, it doesn't make that much of a difference. You know, right now you kill an enemy, you get 3 experience. Later on, you'll be killing enemies and getting like 150 experience per fight. But if we can kind of rack up some points early on, it makes a few of these beginner fights a little easier to work through. And again, I'm trying to stock up on as many room cards as possible. Fast fights like that at least get you some pretty quick room cards. Sometimes it's almost a detriment to have a certain sleight, because if you're stacking things up, it goes against you. Now that's an enemy card, which I will be collecting enemy cards from every enemy throughout the game. But some of that requires just farming, and I won't be doing the farming on camera just because a lot of it's just random chance. It could take a minute to get something, it could take 2 hours to get something. You'd rather it not take 2 hours, but it's always a possibility. We should be able to get to probably, I want to say level 7 by the end of this floor, which will then make the second floor a bit easier. Again, levels aren't really what make a difference because your strength and defense don't change. What really makes the difference is the cards in your deck. So leveling allows you to put more cards into your deck. But if you don't have the cards to begin with, it doesn't matter what level you are. Come on, Donald, be a good one. Yeah. Really hate when those shadows go underground because there's nothing you can do but sit and wait. Okay. Again, I'm hitting any of these things that I can interact with because I'm trying to get... Primarily right now, I'm trying to get cards and Moogle points, because later on I need to go to the Moogle shops, which will be rooms that you can create. So you can buy basically card packs to try to improve your deck. Ooh, this is a good fight in terms of experience. Pluto's a friend card as well, but what he does is he kind of digs around and can dig up different things. Sometimes he can dig up cards that you had discarded. Sometimes I think he can maybe dig up like money or Moogle points as well. Could be wrong with that though. Back here. Hey, another good fight. Yeah, some of these fights will be really good for experience early on, just because there's a lot of enemies to fight. But then if you're trying to progress through things quickly, fights take a long time. We may actually be able to just continue through the rest of this floor after this. I think I might have enough cards with proper values to get through everything. So let's go to this door and... Oh, I kind of am still low on cards. Oh well. Yeah, we'll get through this door. Progress a little bit of the story. We'll get one more key card so we can progress through the last room. And then we'll be able to complete this floor, get the cards for the next room, and wrap up this video. But again, very, very long first video just because there's so many cutscenes. It's actually a lot longer than Traverse Town the first time you go through it in Kingdom Hearts. Sora, you're playing mind games with everyone. I really can't. I mean, I'm not disrespecting this game. I kind of do like the game, but I can't wait to get to Kingdom Hearts 2. Cool. Okay. Shouldn't have too much more to do to beat out this floor. I think we got one more room to get through, and then we'll be able to use this Key of Truth, or whatever its name was. I wasn't paying attention. Let's real quick just take care of a couple more fights, just since they're here. Again, we're still low on room cards, so getting through these fights quickly will give us a couple more. Stupid Red Nocturne, get back here. Such a troll. Alright. There'll just be a couple more fights in this room, and then we'll be able to progress into the next. Again, I do apologize for this being such a long video. There's not too much I can do because there's just so many cutscenes at the beginning. But the other ones will go by a lot quicker than this. Even the last video will probably be significantly faster than this one. But when you get nice quick fights like that, at least it means quick enemy or quick room cards. It's amazing to know those red Nocturnes are the strongest enemy on the floor because they have the most powerful cards. Oh, just get back here. Anything down here? Oh my goodness. Ugh. I think it's like 2 more fights we'll be out of this room. Come on, pop up. There we go. Hey, another enemy card. That's nice. Ugh, 2 more fights. Come on, come on, come on. We'll get through it, guys. If I was able to farm some cards ahead of time, I would have, but there's no way to do that because we just started the game. At least the fights are easy for us, so we can get through them quickly. I hate to bore you guys too much. Did I just get another one? I don't need multiple ones. Although I'll be able to sell them later for Moogle points. There's a trophy for having 10,000 Moogle points all at once. I've already done that. There's also a trophy for spending 20,000 Moogle points. I have not done that one. But I'll definitely take care of that during this playthrough. Ooh, I didn't want to destroy that one. Oh, I guess it didn't matter. You can see I had attempted to use a card with a 0 value. Against single enemies, it's actually very good, especially bosses. But when you have rooms like this, because multiple enemies can try to attack at once, it's about the worst thing you can do, because you can break a card and then immediately have yours broken. So that it was just a waste. Alright. So we can get through this one pretty quickly. Nope. Ah. Yeah. Let's just go here. Not even waste the time. So we should have a boss fight because the last of these special rooms per floor you get a little boss fight, and it's the boss that you fought in Kingdom Hearts. So if you recall, we had the I remember Opposite Armor was the second time you fought him. I can't remember the name of him this time. Come on, be faster, please. already beat the Heartless before. It's not like it even matters. Yeah, this will be a pretty easy fight for us. Because if you've noticed, I haven't even adjusted my deck. They have it set up for you so you can beat this first floor without having to make any deck adjustments. Come on. Pluto, get back here. Hopefully he's got a high value so I can show you. He doesn't have a high value. I was hoping he'd have a high value so I can show you what he does. But I'll go sniffing around and he should dig up something for us. Yeah, some money and some health. Alright, Pluto, be useful. You just disappeared the second I got to you.
Heal. Power.
Don't use a 5. Don't use a... Dang it! Come on, Pluto. Be a good boy. Money's not helping.
Power. Heal. Courage.
Now, unfortunately, it takes him too dang long to do anything, so yeah, because it's a 0 value, it's going to get broken really quickly. Hopefully Donald can help us out. Yeah, fire's better. When you have so few cards, it really is a pain in the neck. This is what Leon tries to warn you about, is using too many slights because then you discard useful cards. Early on it makes a difference. Later, not so much. Because again, you'll be taking down enemies pretty fast. And here we've got... There we go. Those Mickey cards are very useful. I was hoping we would have got one of those earlier on in the fight. Because it just completely stuns them and then you're able to get a lot of attacks in pretty quickly. We didn't even level from that. So for each boss fight, you get some sort of drop. The Heartless, you definitely get that enemy card. Some of these other bosses that you end up fighting, you fight more than once, so the first time you defeat them, you might get something different. After fighting them multiple times, once you defeat them the final time, you'll get their enemy card. We're getting through there. Almost done. Next videos will be a lot better because we'll go through. Should only take like 30 minutes per floor, if even that long. Come on, Sora, stop waiting around. Dude, she dies. What's more depressing, what she's saying or the fact that she has a 8-foot sword stabbed through her? And she'll be gone. Yep. Could have seen that coming. Oh, come on, hurry up! Now there's still a little bit more to do on the first floor, but we don't have access to the rooms yet because we don't have the special cards. When we get the cards, we'll be coming back to this floor and putting it all together. It'll be real fast. At the end of each floor, you get these Conqueror's Respites, which are just rooms where you can quickly save before you exit the floor. They're very useful because a lot of the times when you exit a floor, you're going to have a boss fight. So if you save, at least if you die, you've got the chance to just restart right outside the room and then go into the boss fight. Here, since it's, again, still the first floor, it's not like it's going to be that big of a deal. I think we may have a boss fight with Axel. I could be wrong. It just... We have blizzard magic, we don't have fire magic yet.
Did you enjoy
and
your memories?
I believe the first time we fight Axel,
Yeah,
he
it was good to see
gives
everyone.
us the fire magic.
What do you really want from me?
What do you have to give?
There's Axel.
Hello.
What do you want?
No hogging the hero.
Then perhaps you'd like to test him.
Perhaps I would.
Yeah, so we get a little fight with him.
Keyblade Master. Who am I?
This isn't a tough fight, but later on, one of the Axel fights
Memorized?
is one of the most challenging for me.
Sure. Good. You're a quick learner. So, Sora, now that we're getting to know each other better, don't you go off and die on me now.
At least he has low health in this fight, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. Get back here. Come on, use an attack so I can counter. Good. Use another attack so I can counter. Or not. Okay, I actually really hate that sliding dash because it doesn't do much damage and it's just a waste of a card. Come on, Pluto, help me out here. Give me something good.
I'll make it all stop.
Couple cards, that's... Ooh, 3 cards. That's pretty nice, actually. Even though it was still just a sliding dash. Oh crap. I'm in trouble. Alright, so if we can hit with Goofy, Goofy does a fair amount of damage, but he's going to keep teleporting away and I'm not going to do anything.
Come here, I'll make it all stop.
Stop using that dang sliding dash. You suck.
Come here, I'll make it all stop. Hurry!
Come on, give me something good. I'll take 3 cards. Alright, if we can get this set up right, we'll be okay. Come on, Pluto, give us some good stuff. That's not good stuff. We're close though. It's not going to take too much longer for us to beat Axel. Now I don't want to use Donald because he's got the opportunity or the ability to use fire, which would actually heal Axel, and that'd be a very, very dumb thing to do.
Come here, I'll make it all stop. Hurry!
Come on, Pluto, give me some cards. I need some cards here. There's some cards. There we go.
Give me a break.
So it's an easy fight just because he's not really going to do a lot of damage to you, but it can take a while like it did for me. If you're spending more time grinding out some stuff on the first floor, you'll get some levels where you can really adjust your deck a bit. But for the time being, you can just get through it like that. So the first floor wastes about an hour. Each floor after that should probably only take about 30 minutes. When you get to Riku's story, it goes a lot faster than everything here. Like Sora, 10 hours is about what you need to beat the game. Not completely, I mean there's still optional stuff you can do. Same thing with Riku, like you could probably get through his story in maybe 7 hours. But if you want to do some extra stuff, it'll take some more time. Here we're going to let this finish out the rest of the cutscenes.
That's right.
Once these cutscenes are taken care of, then we'll be able to progress through.
Did you really think after that introduction I would give up oh so easily?
Come on.
You're testing us.
And you passed. Congratulations, Sora. You're ready now. Ready to take on Castle Oblivion. You will need to follow your memories. Trust what you remember and seek what you forget. Then you will find...
I was actually hoping I'd be able to get a few more videos in. I did not think this would take this long.
King Mickey and Riku?
You will just
But the next
have
ones
to
will be a
give
lot
some more
faster.
thought to who it is that's
There's unfortunately no prologue for this like there is for
our most precious
Kingdom
memories
Hearts.
lie so deep within our hearts.
So you can't
that they're
separate a
out of
prologue
reach.
in the first floor, you
But
just
I'm
have to go through the
sure that
first
you can
floor
find
in its
yours,
entirety.
Sora,
Why me?
you have lost sight of the light within the darkness, and it seems that you've forgotten that you forgot.
The light within darkness?
Would you like me to give you a hint?
Come on, you're wasting time here. Let's go faster.
Sora, do you need it?
I'm gonna figure it out for myself. If you're in my way,
Don't worry, Sora. We'll protect you.
Good answer. Just what I'd expect from the
He's not the
Keyblade
Keyblade Master.
But be forewarned. When your sleeping memories awaken, you may no longer be who you are now.
Okay, there we go. So now we've got some different options. We're just going to go in order that the cards are laid out for us. But we're not going to do that in this video because it's just taking too long. Oh my god, more cutscenes. Oh well, this is... Once we get through these cutscenes, we'll be able to save and wrap this video up. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long.
What's wrong, Jiminy?
Well, you see, what Axel said back there worries me. What could he have meant by, you may no longer be who you are?
I may no longer be me. How can I be anyone else?
Of course.
I think Axel's
Still,
saying you're going to
can't be
become a
too
man,
careful.
Sora.
Yep. Feels like just about anything could happen here in Castle Oblivion.
Castle Oblivion.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
We'll be okay. Whatever it is they're cooking up, we'll be able to handle it together.
Course we will. Like at that creepy castle we explored together.
Oh, come on.
Those weird contraptions.
When was that?
I can't remember. What was it called?
Gorge. Oh, it was, Holly? Holler? Sorry, I can't remember.
See, they're getting dumber now.
Stop goofing around.
Goofy, sure you didn't make it up?
I don't think so.
It's supposed to be the more you progress through, the more you forget, but whatever. Alright, so. They quickly tell you about these warpings, which will make it easier to travel back and forth between floors. But that takes care of this video. I know it was a long one, guys, but, you know, bear with me. Each of these future videos will be a lot shorter for this game. You just had a lot of introduction for this one. If you like the video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. Comments are always welcome, and I'll see you guys next time.